What's good? So I'm reviewing Tip You in the App's YouTube page, and what he was doing is he just picked up a passenger dishwasher, and they charged him a lot of money for his ride. And hardworking guy, Tip You in the App, and that passenger had a nice little good conversation, and he started Tip You in the App started looking at his ride information, and he broke it down on a chart to, as far as what passengers were paying, what they paid in insurance as well, and you can check out the video. But basically, passengers were paying an average of like $274 in taxes, and then at some part of the day it went up to 12, and I think the one passenger paid as much as $19, and this was just on the insurance cost. Now, here's the thing. So let's check this out, and you can go ahead and do the same thing. Type into Google, are any insurance companies investors in Uber? It says yes, multiple insurance companies have partnered with Uber, including Insure, Allstate, Mercury, Aon, and Progressive. Now, I'm not sure if they are primarily the insurance company in certain states. I know out here in Ohio, Progressive is the predominant insurance company that used to pop up on my Uber when I was driving for Uber. Now, maybe certain times of the day, different insurance companies are dealing with Uber. Maybe Uber uses them differently. Now, don't quote me on that. Now, it could be just certain states. Insure is dominant in one state and Allstate is dominant in another state or whatnot. But we also have other problems. You can look up and see how many insurance companies, not insurance companies, but investors Uber has. It says Uber is funded by 123 investors. Also, and that is off of Crunchbase. And then here in Fintel, it states that Uber Technologies Incorporated has 3,083 institutional owners and shareholders that have filed 13D and other stuff or whatnot. But they got a lot of people that they also have to pay. It's not my problem. I don't care. These people can kick rocks. They mean absolutely nothing to me because it's my car. And I should be making a profit off of the miles that I put on my car. That's just hands down, period. I'm pretty sure other drivers, they feel exactly the same. But as I was saying, when it comes down to insurance, it could differ for multiple reasons. The insurance rate may change because of, you're going through 2 or 3 different cities. Insurance rates may change because of congested traffic. You driving in dangerous areas, like Chicago or Detroit, Michigan, and etc. That can maybe affect the rate on the insurance because the person is at higher risk. The longer you're online, maybe that affects it. One thing that I can tell you that affects the passenger's price on their ride has a lot to do with when they're requesting the ride. And what I'm referencing is if you have to be at work at 9, you request a ride around 8, your price is going to be down. 8:15, a little bit higher. 8:30, it's going to skyrocket. It has nothing to do with demand. It has to do with your urgency. That's how they're pricing the rides. You have to be at work in 30 minutes. You're more desperate than you were an hour ago. So because you're trying to book the ride closer time to work, they know that they can get a couple extra bucks out of you. Sometimes even 15, 20 bucks the closer time that you have to be there. Remember, they're tracking your ride history. They know that, because you've been taking a ride to work every single day. What I would suggest to Tip You in the App is tell your passengers, like in the case of this guy who's a dishwasher, is there a bar there? If there's a bar there, they may be pricing his ride not as an employee, but as a customer. And it's showing that you've been at the bar for 8 hours. You're intoxicated at this point. If you ask that rider, I guarantee you it probably costs him a lot more going home from work than it does for him going to work. And that is in the cases if there's a bar and they're serving alcohol there, even if they're serving alcohol next door, Uber's algorithm may be pricing that ride wrong just because it's showing up that he's at the bar and he's not at the restaurant. Either or. But there is a trick that I tell my passengers to use, so hopefully Tip You in the App will check out this video. And that is simply, okay, so when you go on the app, you hit start, and on the destination, what you can do is you go to set on map. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the destination just over here, but on the right-hand side. On the right-hand side of that street, I'm going to set that destination. Let's see how much they charge me. All right, so standard $577 and priority $775. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the same place, same street. We're going to do that across the street. We're going to see what the price is on that ride. $580 and $632 on the wait and save, and priority $778. In most cases, it's going to change drastically. Some cases, it's just going to change a little bit. So where you're having your drop off at can control how much money they're charging you on that ride. I'm going to do another example, and I'm just going to do it a little bit further. And here we go on the right-hand side of the street. And let's just look at the standard amount. The standard amount is $562. $562. So do this again. I'm sorry, I gotta find the street. All right, $562, and now we're looking at $585. Not a drastic jump there, but it did move. And then, like I said, in some cases, it's gonna jump $5 or $10, $15 or $20. But also, this is just a random ride. So it's generating a random price versus if I was trying to go to work and or come home from work. If I'm going to a bar or coming home from a bar, if I'm going to an event and coming home from an event, you know, your insurance rate may change. It may be different because of a congested area, time of day, the neighborhood that you live in. All kinds of things may be a factor when it comes down to what they're going to charge for that ride, for the insurance costs, and so forth. So, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. Because just like right now, I can exit out of here and it's saying $585, and I can sit here and try to do the exact same thing again. The problem with that is that Uber's algorithm, they can easily say, oh, well, it changed because it was a different minute. You know, so from 1 minute to the next minute, it changed the price. So they can always debate that. You know, demand had changed. No, demand didn't change. You're pricing people's rides based off of their urgency, how frequently they ride on the app, and where they're going, whether it's work, an event, airport. When I get passengers that are going to the airport, I can usually tell them, hey, I can save you some money on this ride, but, you know, hey, I'm looking for you to throw me a little extra tip on there and everything. They're like, all right, cool. And I tell them, I say, all right, so what you want to do is you want to change the drop off. Instead of putting the airport in, put an address outside the airport. Your fees is going to drop drastically because you're paying airport fees. And they'll do that, and they're like, hey, man, it just saved me $20, man. Yeah, man, I'll throw you $10. Boom. I just got a $10 tip just by telling somebody to simply put the address outside the airport. Now, driving into the airport, I'm only looking at driving an additional 2 miles to get into the airport, maybe 3. So that's not an issue. The issue is that all the money is going to taxes, insurance, and it's going to airport fees. And that is hurting me as a driver because I'm getting paid less and the passenger doesn't like what they're being charged. Plus, you have some people that are airport employees. You think they designed the algorithm to tell the difference? No, they did not. A lot of employees at the airport, they're paying passenger fees to take a ride to the airport. And that's a problem because you're being charged more than what you should be charged for the ride. And that's why I've told airport employees before that, you know, use the address outside the airport and then give the driver cash to take you into the airport. You're going to save a lot of money year round doing it that way versus putting the airport address in and everything. Also, another thing is, all right, so I'm looking at DTW. I'm in Toledo, Ohio. This is in Michigan, but DTW. They want to know whether you're going on Delta, Spirit, American, United, Southwest, Frontier. Now, thing is, you have to be dropped off in a certain spot for these. So yes, they want to know this information to get you the proper drop off, but they can also use this against you to their advantage. You click on Southwest. Now that you clicked on Southwest, they're looking at the time that you're requesting this ride and when the next Southwest flight is leaving. So on average, people try to book their ride so they can get to the airport early, get through baggage claim, TSA, and all of that. So they can predict what flight you're going to be taking at what time and base your ride price based off of that. So this is Southwest, and the standard amount is $79. So we can do the exact same thing and change it from Southwest. And we can just change that to Spirit Airlines and see what the price is. Okay, great. So the price stayed the same on that particular level. Now, as far as the other prices, wasn't paying attention to that. I was just paying attention to the standard. So Spirit Airlines was exactly the same as the other one. I forgot what the other airlines exactly was. Look at United Airlines. And you also got to remember, now the price did go up for American Airlines. Now remember, in most cases, at least when I've been to the airport, you're dropping off the passengers in the same exact spot, that same line. United is right here, a couple of doors down. There's Spirit Airlines and so forth. So the price just changed $2, maybe almost $3 that the price changed on that end. And it's nothing but maybe 10 or 15 feet, but yet the price changed. Now, maybe it changed because I don't know if it was a different minute. Maybe at 12:26 it was showing, and then now at 12:27 it's showing a different price. Also, at the same time, demand probably can affect these numbers, but also at the same time, for me as a driver, I'm not about to drive into Michigan and do a 40-mile trip, and they're charging the passenger $81. In my market, a trip to the airport, they're only trying to pay the drivers between $18 and $20. Now, if drivers decline the ride, it'll go up. And I've seen it go as much as like $60 or $70 for that trip. But I noticed that a lot of times it doesn't come back to me, meaning somebody accepted the trip at a lower rate. Now, some drivers may do the trip at $40 or $60 for the simple fact that they're planning on driving to Michigan, which is a congested market full of drivers. So your pickup distance between rides decrease. So you can stay out there all day and you'll be good. Usually some drivers, hopefully they have an overnight bag. And when they get out to Michigan, just spend a couple of nights out there. You just crash out in the car and you're going to make more money than you would in the Toledo market. So again, you can save your passengers some money by, telling them to use a different pickup address instead of using theirs. You can have them dropped off. Tell them to choose a different drop-off location across the street, and it'll save them some money. But let's be honest, most passengers still aren't going to tip. They feel ripped off using the service anyway. Now, fact is, if the price was too high, why didn't you book a city taxi? Why didn't you book a city taxi? You know that the ride is $30 more than usual. Why didn't you book the city taxi? You probably didn't book the city taxi because their rates were still going to be higher than a Lyft, even though they're charging you an extra $30. So a lot of people are using this this app, and they're really screwing us. They are really screwing us because they're saving money, but they don't pay us for picking them up. And I think that every driver should be able to add what they want for pickup. Lyft and Uber and the whole idea of the passenger doesn't have to pay for pickup is bull crap because they don't own any vehicles. If you allow drivers to charge $2 or, make a choice, $2 or $3 or even $5, for picking passengers up, it's not going to decrease business. It's not going to decrease business because passengers don't even know that they're not being charged for pickup. And if the average ride for them goes up by $2 or $3, it's not that much of a difference. For us, that $2 or $3 means everything. But for passengers or whatever, especially people when when you first get on the app, you get a ride request and they're only paying you $3. You like, that ain't nothing. But when they giving you $3 more on a ride, that's something. But, it's just the idea of you having somebody in your car and you driving them and being responsible for their life for $3. It's not cutting it. But like I said, they need to change that. But at the end of the day, like I said, I don't have a problem with Tip You in the App video. I like the guy. I've subscribed to his channel. He's probably one of my favorite YouTubers and everything. He's not trying to give you a bunch of bullcrap advice. Shoot for $5 a mile, $5 a mile, and everything. You're just not going to get it unless you stay in a bonus area and you only accept rides that are only traveling 1 or 2 miles. And they're not going to flood you with a bunch of great offers and everything because they're paying you by the hour. They don't pay you by the mile or anything. Some hours drivers are making 11, some hours 15, some hours can be 18, 28, 30 something dollars an hour. It just depends on demand and what they're willing to pay based off of how many drivers are out and how many ride requests there is and what bonuses you're getting during that time and everything. So that's why I always advise that drivers build their own chart and accept rides based off of that chart itself. My chart is based off of time wise, and so this is a busy chart. During busy times, I look to make 45 cents per minute. And I know what a lot of people are probably thinking when it comes down to it. Oh, hell no, I don't want to do that or anything. But I know what I'm supposed to make on a mile basis and everything. This is my 36-minute chart. I have it broke down into more details on this trip. Is based off of 21.66 per hour, 36 cents per minute. And I'll scroll down. Every minute is broke down all the way up to 60 minutes, which is $21.60 times 12 hours is $2.59. Gas, $40, $2.19. $2.19 times 7, $1,533 after gas. You're looking at $6,132 a month. And also after gas, $73,584 a year. Spending a year on gas, $14,600. So yeah, my chart is broke down. I don't think that, me making or breaking home 73,000 is bad at all. And that's off of 36 cents per minute. At 38 cents, it's $22.80, and it breaks down to $83,210. But all in all, you can see that I have different charts. Those charts that I use is for different times of the day. And I also have videos on YouTube if you want to check it out, on the charts and the breakdown and how I use the chart to generate money on the platform. So this video did go a little bit longer than what I wanted it to go, but that's the basis of it. Those are the terms, and hopefully Tip You in the App, he realizes and sees this and doesn't think that it necessarily that the insurance rate is a scam on Uber's behalf. It may be what the investors are pushing. It may be what the insurance company is pushing. I heard not too long ago that the utility company, they charge more money based off of the time of day. So that's surging. When people are getting home, they're charging more money. But Uber and Lyft, they didn't start all of this. This is the gas stations. The gas stations started all this. They fill up the gas with the truck one day. Hey, I should be paying the same price until y'all run out of gas. And then I should pay more. But throughout the day, the gas prices, it fluctuates up and down. Certain times of the day, it's cheaper. Other times of the day, it costs more money. They're making more money when people have to head to work and they're getting gas. They're making more money when people are getting off of work or when school is out. And all of these things are factoring in their prices on their gas, on what it's going to cost you on the gas. Everything, unless they're basing it off of, okay, well, we have 180 gallons of gas. Okay, now we're down to 179. Let's change the price. Maybe that's what they're doing. But all I know is that they adapted. These prices are off of what the gas station usually does, with the prices are fluctuating up and down. And we're seeing in society that a lot of companies are starting to do this, and they're making more money during demand. But here's my thing. If I'm working at McDonald's or I'm working at Wendy's, and Wendy's is saying, hey, we're charging more money during certain times, hey, you gonna pay me more money since you guys are making more money? Because that's not fair that you guys get to make more and we're not getting paid more money. That's just like a lot of people, they have a problem with the food orders and everything. Like a lot of people at the restaurants, they're like, oh man, we got to do more work because of these takeout orders and everything. Well, what they don't know is that DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and all of them, they don't control the prices on the menu. It's the restaurant. So the restaurants have been making money on these app deliveries, making excessive more money than what the employees have known them to be making. And they never shared the cost of that. You know, now that's why people have protested. They want more money. Minimum wage has went up. The prices of everything always goes up when minimum wage goes up. You go out here and you protest and you demand that minimum wage is going to go up. The prices on everything else is going to go up. And fact is that when restaurants, a lot of people, they have, oh, I don't want to tip, or I don't need to tip, or you chose this job and everything. Yeah, they did. But at the same time, if you don't tip, then the restaurant is going to have to pay the waitress or waiter more money, which means that your menu prices on your food is going to go up. So I'm double dabbling in other things as of right now, but just to get back on point. Yes and no, the dishwasher was ripped off. I mean, at the end of the day, if they paid excessive more money, this affects how they can tip and also how they can budget. And a lot of these companies are ran by foreigners, or the investors are foreigners, and that is a huge problem because they don't care about the United States. They don't care about citizens, and they're ripping off little people because it's not until the weekend that people middle class and higher uses an Uber or Lyft service for rides other than the airport. And this is it's a huge issue for both the driver and the passengers. But I love the fact how Tip You in the app, he ended up making this chart, everything. That's some things that some drivers do. Some drivers, they don't bother doing it. I think maybe it makes your accountant's job a lot easier when you break everything down and you know what you've lost and what you made, so on that end is beneficial. So I appreciate you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.